most surprising, there was so much information in the exhibition. It's really amazing amount of information, and of course a lot of surprising information. For example, the fact that it's the ownership, that almost everything is privately owned in terms of homes, was very surprising for me. That there's no rental or not much of a rental market was very surprising for me. And what was also very interesting for me to learn is these kind of different mentalities you have here in terms of what it means to rent, what it means to own, what it means to take a loan. All these things to learn were surprising and new for me. So I realized it's still this is a completely different context than the context, of course, I'm from. Of course, I could have anticipated that, but it's still then very, very interesting to learn also that some of the terminology is really used differently. So the cooperative in Germany is something else than what you would consider a cooperative, because there were cooperatives here, but they work differently in a different form. And this was interesting to learn. I mean, it seems that your government is not really, at the moment, not into these kind of issues, what I learned, and that there are not many, that the policy is not really strong in terms of providing affordable housing for people or planning for housing. But I mean, you have this amazing exhibition, and I think you should bring as many politicians as possible to this exhibition and discuss with the City Hall these kind of issues. And I really recommend I mean, if they don't want to come to the exhibition, you should publish your findings of the exhibition, make a booklet, maybe even make a kind of manifesto out of it. I mean, say, okay, these are the 10 points that really needs to be worked on, a kind of agenda, and then propose that to the government. I mean, you have all the data there, and I think it's really up to you to provide now and try to find contact the government and say, well, these are proposals, please, what do you think to it? That's what I would suggest. I think quality housing is always kind of connected to city. So you can't think housing without thinking about city and how it's connected. It should be as inclusive as possible and as affordable and available. So quality housing for me is, if it's not for only one kind of certain layer of people, but it's really an inclusive way of living, and of course short, if you don't have to commute far to your work. Home and work is close, or you can use public transport, if you can use your bike, if you have access to amenities like what you need on your daily basis in terms of shopping, if you have schools and kindergartens close to your house. I think this is for me quality housing. Of course, it's also then, once this is all set, I think this is much more important than the individual unit, basically. But once this is all set, of course, you can also go into the individual unit and say, well, it needs to be, of course, something that is really right for my needs. So in terms of ground plan layout, but I think more important is really how it's located within the city, and that I have access to all these kind of amenities.